Yo, what's going on, guys? You're gonna have to excuse me because this is the very first commentary that I'm doing on this channel. Honestly, the very first commentary that I'm doing ever. So I'm trying to get everything organized in my brain. I've done videos now for 5 years, I think, on this channel, all gaming stuff. And I've also started a tech channel. I'm probably gonna link that down if you guys want to look at some tech stuff, you know, putting some computers together and talking about different technology stuff over on a different channel. But doing commentary and looking at nothing and just talking to nothing is definitely different. It's not something that I'm used to, so I'm even a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because don't know why there's nobody here. But first things first, just want to let you guys know I'm gonna do a little bit of a longer intro to this just because I've been kind of away from this channel. So I put a timestamp down in the bottom if you're just here for the what I posted in the title, which is that the military stuff. But if you guys know me personally, if we've gamed together, I'm doing this intro for you guys just so you guys know where I've been at the last few months, the last year. I mean, I haven't been posting too much just because I've been pretty busy with school and everything. But in the last few months, I don't know if you guys know, if you guys haven't heard, I did have a child. It's been pretty great, not gonna lie. He's a pretty good kid. It's been pretty fun and everything. So that's been taking up a lot of my time, and I'm also on my last semester of school. So once that is done, I definitely want to get back into obviously I have a job, I go to school, and I have a child now, and my fiance we're getting ready to get married soon. So I have a lot of things that are on my plate, but YouTube and making content is definitely not something that I want to stop doing ever, because it's a hobby for me and it's something that I really like to do. So it's not something that I will stop doing. And commentary is something that I've always wanted to do, but not something that I've been confident in. So this is my very first time. Hopefully I can get the thoughts in my head together, be able to really give you guys some good information, because today we're talking about leaving the military and setting yourself up for success through that avenue, and kind of using all the benefits that you do have to your advantage. It's been, I think now, what is it, 2025? I got out in 2018. It's been how long is that, 7 years, 8 years? It's been like 8 years since I got out of the military. Little background on me, guys, if you guys don't know, I was in the Marine Corps infantry for 4 years, 2014 to 2018. I joined when I was a fresh new adult. I was 18 years old, had just turned 18 in July, and I went in September 2nd. So a month, 2 months later, I was in Paris Island, you know, getting yelled at, doing all the fun stuff. But that's not what this video is about. Maybe if you guys want to hear some boot camp stories, some Marine Corps infantry stories, let me know down in the comments. Maybe we'll get into that later on. Also, this is not going to be like, I'm not pivoting to doing like a military channel. This is just, I feel like I have some experiences, and I've seen some people, some new guys coming out of the military kind of complaining, or not complaining, but giving their experiences on like Reddit and different forums of how hard they've had it. And I've seen some of my friends that have not taken advantage of the benefits that the military does offer. And I don't want to say they put themselves in a bad spot, but they could have definitely been in a better spot if they took the time to really look into it and do the paperwork and do all this other stuff. Some of this stuff can be really annoying, and I hope to maybe clarify some of the stuff with what I've been through for the last 8 years, since 2018. So hopefully that was enough for the intro. Like I said, let's get right into the video. So like I said before, I was in the Marine Corps infantry from 2014 to 2018, and just to give you guys a little bit of an outline of what I'm going to be talking about, I'm just going to be talking about benefits for the most part and how to use them and what to avoid. So the very first thing I'm going to be talking about is VA disability. You cannot get a VA disability if you were not getting checked up while you were in the military. This goes for every branch, Marine Corps, Navy, Army. It doesn't matter what your job was. Please, if you're in the military right now and you have any aches or pains, do not be a hero. Do not be that guy that says, oh, it's fine, it doesn't hurt, blah blah blah. Don't let anybody else tell you that you can't visit medical in the morning. Bro, when I was in the Marine Corps, my first few months in the fleet, one of my friends, one of my boys, this kid ended up actually leaving, going AWOL. His dad was like a pretty high ranking dude in the Navy, so it's pretty crazy. But I remember, I think my very first month, or first 2 months in the fleet, my friend, he goes to the gym, and at night he gets on a treadmill, he falls, and he has a swollen ankle. This thing is the size of a tennis ball, purple, nasty. It's obvious, something you should not be walking on. Next day we get up 6 o'clock in the morning, get to formation. Every morning, if you don't know, we're in the Marine Corps infantry, so every morning you're going for a run. You're going for like a 3-mile run minimum. My squad leader at the time said, looked at his ankle, and looked back at his face and said, oh well, medical doesn't open till 8, so you're running. And that kid ran. I mean, not a good run, but he ran those 3 miles, which was crazy. Even the team leaders at that point were kind of looking at him like he was crazy. And things like that happen all over the military. It happened to me. It happens to everybody. Do not let anybody tell you that you're not hurt if you feel like you're hurt. It's very important that you get these types of things checked out and make sure that they're documented. If they're not documented and then you're leaving the military, they will not give it to you, because how the hell are they gonna know that you were hurt for XY reason, whatever, right? Make sure that you are documenting all of your aches and pains. Make sure that you don't let anybody tell you that you're not hurt. Make sure that you are standing up for yourself. I know, looking back on it, I know it's hard because most of us are 18. It was hard for me. I'm coming straight out of high school, straight from my parents' house, to be my own man and basically just get yelled at by a bunch of other grown men. And it's hard to stand up for yourself when you don't really have that backbone yet as an 18-year-old. But just try to really stand up for yourself and get yourself to medical if you have to be checked out. Okay, guys? Now, with all that being said, as you're in the process of leaving the military, it's definitely going to be a lot easier if you're in the Marine Corps infantry, Army infantry, or your job is probably like a little bit more physical. So if you're infantry adjacent, like probably like the artillery dudes, the mortar T guys that are mortar T, you guys would be riding around in trucks, so I don't know. But like the tracks, yeah, yes, all those guys, you know, military adjacent guys, jobs that are a lot more physical, it's going to be a lot easier to get a disability rating, because obviously you are expected to have been hurt. A quick story: when I was actually leaving the military, we're doing our capstone stuff, you know, getting all our paperwork stuff. It's about like a 3-month process. I think maybe 6 months that I think it's a 3-month. You start at 3 months and you have to do like a bunch of signatures and everything. And one of the signatures I'm supposed to get is like some VA representative. I forgot exactly what it was, but it's some VA rep, and we have to go talk to them, and they ask us basically if we're claiming anything for disability. I'm 21 at the time, not even 22. So mind you, I already had surgeries in the military. I have no cartilage in my knees from all the hikes we do. I have a herniated disc in my back. My back is shot. A bunch of stuff, right? I'm going to the VA rep thinking in my mind, I'm not claiming anything. I don't care about none of this. Just get me out of the military. I don't care. I go to the VA rep, and I tell him, like, hey, I'm not claiming anything, whatever. And he looks at me. Obviously, he looks at me. He's like, what's your MOS? I'm like, infantry. He's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, he looks at me and he says, do you hear ringing in your ears? Or he's like, do you have tinnitus? And I'm like, oh, what is that? He's like, do you hear ringing in your ears? I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of do. Like, what? I didn't know that was a thing. He's like, obviously, you dumbass. You shoot guns for a living. You shoot rocket launchers. Blah blah blah. Guys that shoot artillery, you get 10% for tinnitus. So if you're shooting guns, you're definitely getting tinnitus at least. If you're infantry, you're hiking all the time, so your back is probably shot, your knees are probably shot. You should definitely be getting checked up for that. And then he just keeps asking me questions about other things, like actually, I think I did tell him about my shoulder, because I did have a surgery, so I don't think I could get around that one. But he went through everything. He went through everything that was pretty basic for the infantry guys. He even told me, it's like, hey, if you're infantry, like, you're probably minimum getting like 30%, and 30% is kind of like a sweet spot for a lot of things, because that opens you up to get some other stuff. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I think if you're like one of those more physical MOSs, you should at minimum be getting 30%. So with that being said, just make sure that you're getting checked up while you're in the military. It's a lot easier to get a disability rating when you're closer to when you got out of the military than 10 years down the line, if you want to get a disability change in the future, because it's going to be a lot harder to get that paperwork that says, oh, this happened while I was in the military. This, you know, it ain't gonna happen if you're 20 years down the line and your back is shot because of X, Y, and Z. They're not gonna believe you. So get all this stuff done while you're getting out of the military. Make sure that you tell them everything that's fucked up, everything that's hurting you. Just make sure you let them know, and don't try to be that guy that's like, oh, I don't need it. Trust me, guys, you're not taking anybody else's money. This is money that is owed to you. You served your country. You gave up your body for your country, and this is how they compensate you. Okay, this is how they're paying you back. You're not taking money from anybody else, so don't feel bad. This is a benefit that is allowed to you for serving your country. Now, with that being said, let's get right into after leaving the military. As far as benefits goes that I've used, it's all gonna be college. For me, I've been in college for the last 8 years. Not 8 years. 8 years? Well, I left college for a little bit, and I went back, I changed my major, but it's been like 8 years. I think I took a year off or whatever. It's been a while. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it went down for me. You get 4 years for your GI Bill, but like I said before, if you have 30% disability, you actually have another version of a GI Bill. So your GI Bill is, I believe, your Article 33 benefits. If you have 30% disability, you actually are able to use Article 31 benefits after your GI Bill to go to college even longer. Not after your GI Bill. You can use it after you have up to 8 months left on your GI Bill. So I went to school for about like three years maybe, and then when I had 8 months left, I switched over to using my Article 31 benefits, which is vocational rehab, because I have like 70% disability. I got that right out the gate because I had surgeries and everything. But so you can switch over to your Article 31 benefits after your GI Bill and then continue to go to school for another 4 years or another however long it takes you to finish out the time that you're going to school. But with that being said, when you switch over to your voc rehab, it's more of a program where they are expecting you to have a job at the end of it, not like your GI Bill, which is directly just for you to go to school. Okay, or you can use your GI Bill for other things too. Actually, I actually went to Texas one time for a life coaching course. They took the GI. You guys have to look into it. There's a lot of programs that will take your GI Bill because obviously it's free money. They know for a fact that they're getting paid. So if you're a military veteran, they want you to use your GI Bill because they know the government is gonna pay them. But I went to Texas and did like a life coaching course. I'm not gonna be a life coach, guys. I went there. I realized this is not for me. Whatever. I used it, guys. It's important that you guys use your benefits, especially. I'm gonna say this one thing right now. I graduated high school. I can't get my transcripts right now because my son's sleeping in the other room, but I graduated high school with, I think, a 2.2 GPA, if that, right? I was doing the bare minimum in high school. Okay, let me tell you something. Going to college, it's not hard. You don't have to be a smart ass. You don't have to be good in school. You don't have to study your ass off. You just have to pass. I mean, I'm doing pretty well right now. I'm graduating this semester. I'm gonna graduate with like a 3.3 GPA, which is pretty good for me anyways, because I didn't try at all in high school. And my mom is fucking ecstatic because she thought I was gonna be a fucking loser my whole life, not gonna lie. But yeah, guys, don't just because you did bad in high school, it does not mean you don't have to go to college, or you don't get to go, or you're not gonna do good in college. Don't think that just because high school wasn't for you, school isn't for you at all. You should always be a lifelong learner and not let things that happen in the past dictate how your future is gonna go. And guys, on top of all that, while you're in school, you don't have to be working. They're gonna pay you like, it depends on the state, but for New York, I'm getting like about $4,000. It's like a little bit less than $4,000. If I was going to school in New York City, or if I lived in New York City, I would get, I think my boy was getting like $4,500. I'm not sure exactly, but it was like more than $4,000. It depends on where you live in. I know New York is probably like on the high end, is probably the highest end. Maybe California is higher than that, but it's relative to where you live. So you should be getting a good amount of money. And I honestly was working the entire time that I was going to school for the most part. So there was a good bit of it that I wasn't doing anything, and I was just living off of my GI Bill and then my disability, which was fine because you get it. And I was like 22, just having a good time, to be honest. But still take it seriously. Don't take after me. Also, to throw one more thing in there, if you are going to use your GI Bill, just know that you are allowed to fail classes. Like, they won't charge it against you if you fail a class. The only thing you cannot do is withdraw from a class. You can't get a W on your grade. You can withdraw in that time period, like that first few weeks, that doesn't count towards your transcript. But after that, if you try to withdraw, they will count that towards your grade and you will have to pay that back. Now, you do get 2 freebies. If you withdraw from 2 classes, you do get 2 freebies, and then after that, they'll charge you, but you can write a letter to the VA and try to get those waived. You have to have a good reason for that though, so just be wary or cognizant of that. Don't just go around signing up for classes and not going to class, because they will charge you and try to get their money back. And not just the money that they paid you, they'll try to get the money that they paid for the school too. So that's gonna come out to like 20 grand, 30 grand for a semester or something like that. So don't be doing no stupid shit, all right? Anyways, I think that's about it. So we got the GI Bill, voc rehab. Hopefully that came out pretty well. After that, the only benefit that I could really think of that, I mean, I haven't used it, I haven't bought a home yet, but there's the VA home loan. I haven't used it. I have older people, my friends, my fiance's dad was in the Navy back in the day, so her parents have told me about it. You don't have to put a down payment on it, and I'm pretty sure they always try to get you the lowest interest rate no matter what when you do use it, but I don't know. I haven't used it. House prices are crazy, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to buy a house. Who knows, right? That's about all I know on the VA home loan. The only other thing that I do know, if you guys want a little bit more, squeeze a little more juice out of the benefits, if you're a snowboarder, just a little way out of left field, but if you snowboard and you like snowboarding a lot, maybe you're in Colorado or up in upstate New York or Vermont, what is it, Connecticut? I don't know if Connecticut has any mountains, but if you have 30% disability, you can get an Epic Pass for like $150. I get my Epic Pass for $150. Epic Pass is like $1,000, and they have a veteran discount if you have 30% or above disability for $150. It's great. Love it. I haven't been snowboarding in like a year because we just had the kid. We couldn't go this winter, but love it. It's amazing. And $150 for the entire season. That's the entire season. A ticket to go snowboarding is $200, $250 per trip. So it's a great thing. There's a bunch of other stuff that you can look up and you can look at too. There's like websites so that just give you discounts and everything. Definitely look into them. But my final point on this, guys, these are benefits that were made to help you. You are coming out of the military at 22 years old minimum. You're doing 45 years or whatever. There's dudes that obviously come in later, like at 20, and then come out like at 25, but you're coming out of the military at a disadvantage if you're not using these benefits. All your peers already graduated college. All your peers are going into their jobs and they're getting experience. You guys need to use these benefits and put yourselves in a spot to win, because nobody else is gonna do this for you. Nobody else is gonna help you. Nobody else is gonna do the paperwork for you. Nobody else honestly cares. I'm telling you right now, nobody cares that you went to the military unless you make people care. Okay, guys, that's all the time I have. Hope you guys take this time to really help yourselves out, and I hope you guys do good in life, man. Love you guys. Peace.